All right, so I think in this segment, I'm going to pull the preamp boards, and I'm going to work on those next. And what I'm probably going to do is get, and I'll explain this, I'll qualify this in a second, but everything underneath this cover I'm going to do first, and then I'll go on to the amp boards. Now with these preamp boards, what I am going to do, however, is, and I'll explain my rationale here. So in the kit that I got, it's got 4 caps and a whole bunch of transistors. Now, these boards are very accessible. They're easy to get to. They're easy to pop out of here. But I think I'm just going to replace the caps and not the transistors. Now, the reason why, right, beyond the ease of accessing the board, is lots of transistors. You got some kind of funky from the factory connections, it looks like here. And removing the posts, or these, I don't know what you call them, the little stands that the transistors sit in. Hopefully you can see that. You know, pulling those out is kind of a pain. And these are not known bad transistors, at least from the research that I've done. You know, there are transistors that if you see them, you need to replace them. These transistors are not known bad transistors. So I think I'm just going to change the caps. Now I'll explain the caps here in a minute, and I'll pull the caps out of the bag here. But I think that's the direction I'm going to move in on the preamp boards. And again, I can always change this later on. I can always, you know, do whatever on this later on. So let me grab, in fact, I might move the Mac out of the way and zoom in on the board as I work on it. So let me kind of position everything, and I'll come right back. Okay, so here are the 2 caps. Let me, since my hand will be giant in this, can't find my little pointer. I'll have to use a pencil. So here are the 2 caps, these brown blobs. That yellow dot is the positive leg, the positive lead, and these are just 10 microfarad caps. So I'm going to pull those and replace those with the electrolytics that came in the kit. Let me confirm that these are indeed correct. And these are 10 UF 63 volt. Yeah, so these are all 10 microfarad caps. 10 microfarad caps. Okay, so I'm going to replace these first. This is just going to be a basic. Pop these out, pop the other ones in. So, be pretty easy. I'm going to zoom this out just a little bit though, as I work on replacing those caps. And as I have been doing, I'm going to test these old caps. Put them on my tester here. Plus, I haven't soldered these in yet. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm close. So yeah, 10. That one's 10. Yep, so both at 11. ESR is a little, I'd have to look at my chart. I don't know if ESR, I'd have to check the reference to see if those are good values or not. So, and then what I'm going to do after I solder the new caps in, hopefully my head's not in the way. Again, I'm really having to stoop over the bench to get this. in frame. I'm gonna test it, put this one in, test it, make sure got that orientation correct on those caps. So let me clip these leads, put this in, test it, and then I will remove the other board. So next shot will be of, well, actually, what I'm going to do, the next shot is going to be both boards in and recapped. I'm not going to shoot any video of me replacing or testing. So if anything eventful happens, I will be sure to record it. But I'm going to test this, replace the other board, and then we'll come back up top and talk about what we're going to do next. So one thing I missed, these caps have to be replaced too. I looked at the bag and I found these 100 microfarad electrolytics, and then I looked at the board and I realized that these blue blobs are caps. So I'm going to go with the positive, right? I'm going to assume that's the positive lead, right? These are 100 microfarad 10 volt, 100 microfarad 63 volt. So I'm going to replace those as well, and then connect these back up, test them. So that's what I'll be doing here in the next minute or so. So I'm going to test these as well. Now the 10 microfarad caps in the other board, they were consistent with the 10 microfarad caps on this one. So all four were coming in about 11, close to 12. ESR was kind of all over the place. So these should be 100, and that's 105. Let's see what this other one is. And I'm actually keeping all these parts that I'm pulling off of here. Never know when I might need an OEM McIntosh cap. So that's 114. So not bad. So again, what I'm going to do is install, test, do the other board, and then I should come back and we'll be looking at this from up top. Okay, everything tested all right. So I think I'm going to, this was a short segment. Again, I may go in and do those transistors at some point. Right now, I'm not inclined to do that. I don't feel like getting involved that deeply today on that, so I may shoot a follow-up at some point if I replace those. But so I think, so far, just to recap what we've done, right, the two big caps, regulator board, preamp boards, and now we're going to go on to the FM board. There are two FM boards, so we will replace a couple of caps on those, and that'll probably be the next segment, I guess, and then that will complete everything that kind of goes underneath, right, the cover here. So anyway, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe. Catch you in the next video. Okay, so I'm going to make a real quick add to the preamp boards. And I've done the other board already, so I am replacing all of these transistors. KSA 992s will go in place of these two blue transistors. All the other transistors are 1845s. Now, these are emitter base collector, so when the new transistors go in, they will be oriented, right, like this. Instead of like this, it's going to be turned like this with that middle leg going back, right? Emitter, because it's normally emitter collector base, right? This one's emitter collector base. This one's emitter base collector. So they'll all be turned like this. So, and I found a pretty easy way to remove these posts. I cut the legs of the transistors, remove the solder from the other side of the post, and just twist it out. been kind of the easiest way to do that. So I'm going to go and do this other board. The other board's already finished, put in, sounds great. So that is what I will be doing. So this is really, I'm not going to film this because you're, or record it because I think you understand what's going on. But I did want to at least add, I am replacing the transistors on the preamp boards. And as always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and now I'll see you in the next video.